Hi everybody, this is a video about the law of sines. So I got a bunch of questions throughout the week about the Khan Academy videos, so I figured I would clarify. So what I have set up right here is a good example of where we could use the law of sines. One particular way to use the law of sines is if you have two angles and a side. So I've put some familiar topics here, right? These were our triangle congruence theorems. So one example we could use it for would be angle side angle, which is what is pictured right here, right? Two angles and the side between it. But it could also be used when you have two angles and the side not between it. So for example, I could add these two angles together, which would give me 117 degrees, and then subtract from 180, which leaves 63 up here, right? So this video will focus on using the law of sines when you have two angles and one side, okay? So I have, actually, let's differentiate here, right? So let's say we have he and she, right? So for example, we should know after watching the first two videos that the law of sines is a proportion. So I'm going to say that the sine of 42 degrees is to the side it forms, the same way the sine of 75 is to b, the same way sine of 63 is to 22. They're all equivalent, but what I'm going to start with here is this, because I know both bits of information. So as I start to write my proportion, I'll write the sine of 63 degrees is to 22. Okay, the sine of the angle is to the side it forms. Now what I'm going to do first is I'm going to solve for this side that's opposite of him, right, or the length of AC. I'm going to use lowercase a as my variable. So one more time here, I'm going to say the sine of 63 is to 22 as the sine of 42 degrees is to A. Now, a lot of the questions I got was about showing work and typing it into the calculator. And although on Khan Academy, I think it was a special right triangle or a special angle, and he used, radicals and such, I'm just going to show you a different way you could possibly solve this, all right? So I see a proportion, I'm going to cross multiply. So A times the sine of 63 is just that, and then 22 sine 42, okay? So now I want A alone. So what I'm going to do is divide by the sine of 63 degrees, and what we do to one side, we do to the other. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to clean this up. The exact answer for A, or the length of that side, is 22 sine 42 degrees divided by the sine of 63 degrees. Now what I want to do now is I've done all of my cross multiplying, I've done all my solving. So now I want to take out my calculator and I want to type that in. Now I'm going to click mode. I'm going to make sure it's set to degrees. It is. So now I'm ready to rock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in the numerator first, right? 22 sine 42. Okay, and that's approximately 14.72. That's the numerator. I still have to divide by the sine of 63. Whoops. Okay. I like to do that separately, so at least I know the calculator is using the order of operations correctly. However, I want to talk to you about why I think this answer makes sense. It's approximately 16.52. Now, since that's a side length, I'm going to label it with centimeters. Now, I want you to just kind of analyze your answer here, right? So think about this. 63 degrees opens up to form the side that is 22 centimeters long. So I think it makes a lot of sense that I have a smaller angle now, right? 63, 42 is a little smaller. So the side across from 42 should also be slightly smaller. So I think that makes sense. Now to finish up, I'd like to find the side opposite of her, right? Or I'm going to use lowercase b. So now I'm still going to use part of the proportion I had earlier. Right? So I'm still going to say the sine of 63 degrees is to 22, right? The same way now, look, 75 degrees is to B. Now I'm going to make a prediction, right? Notice 63 degrees opens up to form 22 centimeters. This should be larger than 22 centimeters, right? Just so we can check our work. If it turns out to be smaller or considerably larger, then maybe something went wrong. Let's see. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit after the example we just did. So I'm going to have b sine 63 equals 22 sine 75. Okay, I'm going to divide by the sine of 63. And now I grab my calculator and I type. Okay, so let's see. Let me clear that out. 22 sine 75. Close it. All right, so that numerator is a little larger, and I'm going to divide by the sine of 63. Cool, I'm getting about 23.85, let's call it. 23.85 centimeters, okay, slightly larger. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this clarifies any trouble you had. Let me know. All right, good luck. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.